Hello and welcome. We're so happy to have you joining us today for Parent Academy's High School 101, a guide for families. My name is Reagan Copeland. I am Duval County Public Schools Parent Academy Supervisor. Thrilled to be here with you. And joining me is
Good morning, Jennifer Marcellus. I'm with the Office of School Choice.
And we, most importantly, are both moms of current high schoolers and moms of former high schoolers. And we collaborated to create this course from a parent's perspective of navigating through high school from a family's point of view, not necessarily all the academics, but just to help fill in some of the holes through this exciting, emotional, wild journey that you are on. All right, we're going to get started. All right, here we go. High School 101, a guide for families. Like I said, this is a general overview of what to expect through high school, whether you have a freshman and you are day 3 in, or you are a parent of a senior. Either way, somewhere along the journey, we will be touching on important points for you throughout raising this young adult. Today's course will cover academics. We will discuss extracurricular activities, including clubs and sports and all the things in between. We will also be sharing with you the importance of communication, and that involves all staff members and students along the way. And finally, the incredibly important topic of connection. Connecting will definitely be the driving force throughout the 4-year journey.
So with academics, if you were part of Team Duval in middle school, things haven't changed all that much in high school. We do have an A-Day, B-Day schedule in our high schools. Students will take a total of 8 courses, as you probably have experienced this week, 4 on each day. That combines both core courses and electives. So most of our high schools are on a schedule of 7:15 to 2 o'clock. I know that some of our magnet schools are dedicated magnet schools because of transportation. They have a later start date, a later start time, and of course they end later in the day. Ms. Edwards, is your child currently in high school, or are you looking forward to high school? There we go. I don't know if can we unmute her?
Done.
Okay,
Done.
great.
Hello.
So hello, how are you?
Yeah, so actually my student is in 8th grade, and I thought this was more geared toward what I need to do to prepare.
Perfect. Brilliant.
Okay.
You're right on track.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll cover some of that too. So there are many types of courses available to families in our high schools. And so the first 3, Cambridge, International Baccalaureate, and Advanced Programming for ACE, for AP, those are all dual enrollment programs, and they have a special application process through high school acceleration. Students can also take advanced placement courses in their traditional high schools and not receive a certificate of completion through AP. And there is no entry-level requirements or application for that. So any child who is in a Duval County public high school can take advanced courses. It's just that some of our high schools have a certificate program through AP, and that has course requirements. All of our high schools have, of course, AP programming, honors, the opportunity to participate in dual enrollment, and that is 2-tiered. That is, either students can just, as my child did, just take dual enrollment classes as they come along. And then there's a high school acceleration component where students will actually earn their AA by the end of 12th grade. And so they would graduate with a traditional diploma from Duval County, in addition to graduating from FSCJ with an AA diploma at the end of their 12th grade year. All of our schools have career and technical education programs where students can earn certificates throughout the 4 years. And of course, our schools have standard and remedial classes as is needed by our students based on their current abilities. So as I mentioned, we have core classes and we have electives. All students will take English, math, science, and social studies throughout their 4 years. We have electives, which include different languages. I know some schools have Mandarin as a language, Spanish, American Sign Language, sports, band, of course, fine arts. Our high schools also offer driver's education. I would like to put it out there that driver's education is also offered over the summer. And so if your child turns 15 prior to their sophomore year, you can actually have your child take driver's education over the summer at one of our high schools. Transportation is not provided, but I want to say we did it this summer. I want to say it was just 8 days. Oops, sorry, I'm in a room with automatic lights. I want to say driver's ed was just 8 days this summer. And just as a parent tip, what I did was I had my child take the class through FLVS first over the summer to get his permit without having to take the test at driver's ed at the DMV. And then he took the actual driver's ed over the summer. So it all worked out fine. Career technical education. If your child has an interest in the medical field or business entrepreneurship or digital design, these are all programs offered at our schools. There's a whole list available on the CTE webpage for Duval County that details all that information. And of course, we offer JROTC at all of our schools. They can be either Air Force, Army, Navy, or Marines. And that is just dictated by the school. Each school has a different branch of the military. So over the course of their freshman and sophomore years, students really are creating a foundation for the work that they'll do their junior and senior year. The PSAT is offered their sophomore year, and that is a national merit qualifier exam. And so we do ask that students take it seriously their sophomore year, and is also a precursor to the SAT, and it lets children know where they need to fill in some holes maybe as they look forward to taking the SAT and the ACT their junior and senior year. They get a detailed report that provides them next steps through either Khan Academy or the tutoring that is offered at all of our schools through varsity tutoring that is available online, in addition to the tutoring that is available face-to-face in our schools. That usually happens late fall, so November, December, through the rest of the school year. The schools offer tutoring on site by teachers at the schools. The varsity tutoring was new last year, and so it's really starting to take off this year, and that's available for our middle and high school students as well. So as far as core courses, here you will see the requirements necessary to graduate, and so that's 4 of English, 4 of math, 3 science credits, and 3 social studies credits. As with anything in life, some things haven't changed in high school, so students are more likely to get the electives that they want in their junior and senior year, and that's all because of course requirements, graduation requirements, things like that, things that they need to get by the time they graduate. Students do need 6 electives to graduate. And then this last portion of the graphic is all about dual enrollment. The classes are taught by FSCJ professors. Some of those professors are, in addition to that, Duval County Public School teachers. And so for some schools, children can take, say, their English classes at their zoned attendance area school or whatever school they're assigned to and not have to leave campus to take an FSCJ course. However, for a majority of the courses, children do need to leave campus, their high school campus, and travel to one of the FSCJ sites for the course. And there is an admission criteria that students need to meet. So they need to take the PERT test and make sure that they qualify for admission to FSCJ. just as any student would who applies. Students get student ID numbers. They're responsible for going to FSCJ and buying their books or getting their books. The books are provided, but they do need to go and pick up their books. And it's very much like college, where as family members, the students are responsible for all communications with professors. The professors will only deal with the students. And so it's a great transition to college because it is local. The class sizes are a little smaller and it's in manageable pieces, as opposed to going to college where all of a sudden you're taking 15 credit hours. When you do it through dual enrollment, you're only taking 1 or maybe 2 classes a semester and sort of getting your feet wet. Again, dual enrollment is offered as, oh, here we go. It's offered as a high school acceleration program where children are taking all of their prerequisites for graduation as far as Duval County Public Schools goes in their first 2 years, and then in years 2 and years 3 and 4, your junior and senior year, the majority of the coursework is all FSCJ. So this slide highlights, and I'll let you take a look at it, the PERT requirements, the GPA requirement, and then how the coursework progresses in the junior year and then the senior year.
I'm going to jump in real quickly
Yes.
and say what a big fan I am of this program. The partnership between Duval County Public Schools and FSCJ is truly phenomenal. My son, I have a recent graduate, and he is entering college most of the way through his freshman year, which is pretty significant, and allows him a chance to take a few fun classes and then really start hunkering down as a sophomore. Great experience. They start the students off taking college courses on campus, and then for their senior year, when they're ready to get antsy and get off campus anyway, it allows them a chance to go off campus, take a college course. It really helps to build their self-esteem, that sense of independence. Excellent opportunity. I strongly recommend, if you are a parent of a child interested in this opportunity, that you pursue it as early as looking into it freshman year. Really start asking questions, start looking into it. Maybe you have a meeting with a school counselor to see if this is a track that you're interested in doing, should you not choose one of the high school acceleration options like Cambridge ACE or IB or AP. So there's my 2 cents.
So in our junior and senior year, that's when things sort of ramp up and students get invited to college meetings at school. The colleges come out in full force to recruit students. Students are also very focused on SAT and ACT scores, if that is going to be the path that they're going to take. Waivers are available for some students to take the ACT and SAT because they are assessments not Duval County based, and so there are fees associated. I will say that Duval County offers all students the opportunity to take the SAT their junior year on campus, free of charge, and that is during an academic day. CLT is still new. It is the standardized test that is accepted by all Florida state schools. However, my child did not take it, and so I'm not as familiar with regards to the assessment.
It is a new opportunity for students. My son did not participate with this either. It was honestly too new for us to even know to pursue it as an option. So it's something that we still are learning about locally, but it is accepted. It's an opportunity for a student to take this assessment at home in lieu of a testing center. I strongly recommend all students try the ACT, the SAT, and the CLTs. Different students will thrive more so on one assessment typically than another. I know one of the assessment has more of a science strand, one has a stronger or a smaller science strand. So really it depends on the student, and they should honestly try them all. Our schools do offer free opportunities, which is incredible. Strongly encourage all students to go to school and take it seriously that day, at least to try it out, and they can take it again and again as often as they want to improve that score.
So it's also worth mentioning that the schools will receive a super score, and so that's the combined highest reading and math score. And so if a child's having a really good day on one and not so good on the other, if they take it multiple times, they can combine their highest scores, and use that for their application.
I did hear a helpful tip. I found it to be incredibly helpful, actually, is knowing that your student is likely to take each assessment more than once.
Mhm.
Take that testing date and really focus, give 110% on math the first time you take the test. And then the second time you take the test, give 110% on the reading. So really they don't feel completely wiped out by the end. They really just focus on one subject area at a time. It tends to help some students perform better because you really can pull your highest math and your highest reading and combine them. So helpful tip from a parent to a parent, passing that one along. Worked for us.
So as we talk about high school, there's really no way not to talk about college, which for some of our students, that's the next path for them. The state of Florida does have the Bright Futures Scholarship, and there's a number of ways that you can earn it, and there are different dollar amounts for which you can earn. There is a GPA requirement. There is a college entry exam requirement, and they do use the CLT for that as well. Community service hours, now the community service hours does factor into whether or not you are a Florida Academic Scholar, a Medallion, or a Gold Seal Vocational Scholar. And the Vocational Scholars is for those students who are taking a CTE route. And so there is money available to students who do take CTE courses in high school and meet certain requirements. If a child successfully completes their ACE diploma or their IB diploma, they are recipients of the scholarship. Let's see. So, and there's a side note that Parent Academy has multiple resources available on their website with regards to Bright Futures, previous courses that have been provided to families. And of course, we record all of them and they're available to families on their YouTube page, correct?
Absolutely. We have a YouTube channel that has well over 100 courses currently available to view, many of them pertaining to the college level or the what's next level. Specifically, Bright Futures, this is a very popular course. It's an unknown when it comes to leaving middle school and going into high school, but it's something that starts immediately. As soon as students are taking those high school credits, which is often in middle school, 8th grade, the clock is ticking. So we need to make sure that we as families are supporting our students so that they're aware that every semester counts from the moment they begin taking high school courses. Bright Futures requirements, oh, what a benefit. By the end, they could have their entire tuition covered, and that is a huge relief to a family and a student to avoid a major loan by the end. We also are introducing a FAFSA course that we are offering families in partnership with Florida FSCJ this year. So I'm thrilled to announce that for anyone that is interested in learning more about the FAFSA, as it was completely redone this past year. Lots to learn along the way, I will say, as a parent who participated in that. Normally it does open October 1st. And as I've learned, and I will share with any parent along the way, the sooner you apply, the better. The funds get distributed sooner to those who apply in October versus those who are filling out their application in March or May. So the sooner, the better always. And yep, tune into that FAFSA course coming soon. All right. As it comes to extracurricular activities, I am a big proponent for children trying them all. If you're interested, try it. It never hurts because the more they sample different clubs and sports and projects, the more friends they make, the more included, the more they feel a part of this sometimes giant school. We have high schools with over 3,000 students in them. So getting involved in any sort of activity is always beneficial to a student. Sports, there are standard sports for all students in all high schools. Every student is going to be able to have an opportunity to join the tennis or the football or the swim team at any school that they attend. School spirit is certainly contagious. Even if they are not participating in tennis, go and cheer on their classmates. If you haven't ever gone to a Friday Night Lights football game, go and soak in the moment and the fun and the cheering. It's a great time for kids to have a good time and a relaxed setting outside of academics. Clubs, these are unique to every school. If you have a child that has a specific interest that isn't currently represented at their high school, go start the club. They can work with their school counselor or school leadership and give their testimony for why they feel that there should be a new club centered solely around their specific interest. And I guarantee you, if they have the interest, so do a dozen other kids. So give it a shot. Make a name for yourself. It is never too late to get started on something new and fun. All right, and for communication, and communication is key, really does play a significant role here in our high school setting. Again, high schools can be huge. You are among sometimes thousands of students in a school. So the more that students communicate with their teachers, with their school counselors, even their administrators, the better. And families, I say it to you too, always let your child's teachers, the front office staff, let them know that you're available to communicate with, reach out to if there's ever a concern, a worry. Life is always interesting as our children are navigating from childhood to adulthood and they're figuring out themselves. They may have questions or concerns and feel more comfortable talking to one adult than the other. That's fine as long as they have someone to connect to. And teachers want to connect to their students. They're in this career solely to teach children, and that child may be 5 or 15, but somewhere along the way, they want to build a connection with your child. So help to encourage your student to reach out, stay after class for a minute, go to school early and talk with an adult, regardless of the club leader, the liaison between the school and the student club, or the principal of the school. They are all interested in making sure that your child is successful. And sometimes one adult can make a huge difference in a child's life and academic success. Topics to discuss with a school counselor. It can be as simple as academics and scheduling and making sure that your child is set to go for dual enrollment, or possibly they need to be in the IB track and you need to revise their application. It could be a summer program. We have all sorts of opportunities for students throughout the summer. School counselors will reach out for volunteer opportunities for students. Internships, especially as when you hit that junior and senior year, those are incredibly important. Our school counselors are a wealth of information. I can assure you they can answer most any question that you throw at them. And if not, they know exactly who to reach out to get that answer. Please do make sure as a family that you are carving out time to meet with your students' designated school counselor at least twice a year. I say including you as well, especially that freshman and sophomore year, because that's when your counselor is going to be learning who your kid is. Make sure that they connect the name with the face, because it matters. It definitely matters. And then when they see a supportive family member involved in that child's life, then they also can reach out to you and you become a village to help raise this child. Teachers, they are there for more than just teaching. Yes, they're going to get in there and teach that world history class, but they also want to get to know your kiddo and have fun and laugh and make it the best opportunity possible. They often lead tutoring opportunities. They lead clubs. They might have the best section in the student body area at a basketball game. You just never know. Get to know your teachers. And these teachers and school counselors are inevitably the ones who your child will be reaching out to for a letter of recommendation on their way out that senior year. They may need a letter of recommendation for college or a job application, potentially for a scholarship, which I certainly hope that your child applies for that, should they choose to follow a CTE career or even a college far from home. Regardless, they are going to need those letters of recommendation. And when you have a teacher or school counselor that knows your child, they're able to better speak to them in that letter. School leadership. This may consist of the principal and the assistant principals. You've also got deans, and you've got athletic directors, and you've got school counselors. You've got a large, as I call them, village at each school to make sure that your child is being successful. Make sure that you share something about your child with the administrator so they get to know them. They all aspire to know each one of their students by names. I can assure you of that. I've witnessed it myself, sending them emails and making sure that they connect with them even during the school day, a hand on the shoulder in the middle of a class and checking in. Hey, you doing all right? Good to see you today. I'm so glad you're here. Makes a big difference. Families, please support your school, whatever that may look like. You may have more time to give, and other families may have more financial support to give. Other families may have ideas to offer their school. Oh, we could try this, or we could try that. Anything that you can provide your student's school is beneficial. I've listed several ideas of ways to be involved at your child's school. All of them are currently existing, and you may have additional ideas to better improve your child's school, and they are welcomed. They're certainly welcomed by anyone and everyone. Certainly join your child's PTSA, and definitely go and support the after school, the band, the drama. You've got school plays, and you've got sporting events. Go to them, because as a family, as a parent of a child who has since graduated, I know Jen will agree, it flies by and all of a sudden it's done. So make sure that you really soak it up these next few years, you really enjoy it along the way, and have fun along with your child in the stands, hooping and hollering and cheering other people's children on as well as your own. Summertime, as we have just left summer, it seems now far away for next summer, but these summers are incredibly important. They're the perfect opportunity for your student to get those volunteer and community service hours necessary to earn that Bright Future Scholarship. And it starts as soon as 8th grade summer. Going in, log those hours, get those signatures, keep up with it. As soon as that volunteer paperwork, which should be on your high school's webpage, is completed, they can turn it in. They don't have to hold on to it and hope that they don't lose it over the years. They can certainly turn it in once they've had a few signatures and a few hours, submit it to their high school counselor and keep it going. Never stop. I believe it's 100 hours of community service are the minimum. They can knock that out in one summer, or they can use several summers or school years to attain it. But regardless, you definitely want to keep up with that. Internships are incredible. Anytime your child can do an internship, this is a dynamic way to really brush up and polish up their resume for the next step, whatever that may be, whatever pathway exists for them after graduation. And if you have an athlete, these summer camps are very important. They need to be enrolled in or signed up for months in advance. I believe athletic camps begin being announced in January and February for the following summer, so keep an eye out. I strongly recommend you and your student follow these schools that they're interested in on all social media platforms, whether it's Twitter or Instagram. Make sure your child has an athletic site that really highlights their skills, their talents, and it's never too soon to start that. These pages should be really focused on their skill, whether it's a sport or it's a band or drama, whatever they are spotlighting for themselves. I know chorus, I'm a friend of mine's, or my son's best friend just got a full scholarship for chorus. And he is extremely talented and has been showcasing himself for years. So make sure that you're not just the one that knows how talented your child is. Put them out there to make sure others do as well. Never too soon to start. So freshman year is important. And finally, I think this is where Jen really flourishes. So I'm going to let you go first.
So as Reagan said, so it does go by so very quickly. I have one in college. She just started her second year, and then I have a sophomore. And we joke in our house that we only have so many Sundays left with our children before they move out. And it does go by so very quickly. And find time to connect. So as a family, of course, make sure you're all on the same page. We have a group chat that sometimes goes off the rails, but it's fun to look back on it and see all the funny jokes that we make or that we continue to make, even though everyone isn't staying at the same, like we're not under the same roof, but we do use that group chat to poke fun, to share highs and lows with each other. Listen. So the most eye-opening experiences ever are when I just sit in silence and wait for my children to talk to me and share whatever they want to share. I personally enjoy, people think it's hysterical. I drive my child to school every day for high school, and so it's an early morning, and I try not to rush it. Like I try really hard to have all of our ducks in a row so that we are starting our day, both him and I, as peacefully as possible, but also like as silent as possible, because there are so many things coming at our children with social media and just expectations and pressure that they put on themselves. And so we try to start every morning as quiet as possible to make sure that we are ready for our day. And then enjoy the big moments and the small moments. Just the little things that happen, because they can be as significant as the big moments. Friendships are changing. Students are coming to the realization that they are leaving you and they're leaving all that they know, perhaps either to start college somewhere or to start a new career. And so just that spring semester, it can be so anxiety ridden because they are so excited for their journey, but they're also so nervous about their journey.
I agree. And I will say a mom tip. I love to throw these out there, obviously. But another one of my mom tips is turn off the radio, turn off the music, get in the car. My kids don't even think anything weird of it. They get in the car and it's silent, because when you provide an opportunity for silence, they will talk. They're not going to sit in silence. And then they'll start telling you all about things that you had no idea existed. And it may be about them, it may be about a friend, it may be about a teacher, but they will start to talk, and you get to enjoy. You just get to listen and laugh and be silly with them. So enjoy the silence. It doesn't last long. I promise you, they're just looking for an opportunity to start talking about something that they thought you wanted nothing to know about. And when they got started talking and you were half interested, they'll tell you some more about it. Those moments are wonderful. Like Jen said, they're the small ones, but they soon become the big ones. So high school is amazing. It's an incredible time for families. From 8th to 9th is a big jump. Freshman year is a big bite to chew off. I can assure you there's excitement and adventure and curiosity and all good things. But as a family, I think it's important to be as involved as possible that freshman year. Ask the questions, get to know the people, reach out to their teachers, let them know you're there and a support system for your student from day one. We are all in this together, raising our children the very best we can, teachers included, administrators included, and we all want all students to succeed. So team effort, We hope and wish nothing but the very best for you. I can assure you that Parent Academy is an excellent resource throughout your journey. We hit just about every topic, and if there's something you want to know more about, always email us and let us know about it. parentacademy@duvalschools.com is our email. We'd love to hear any recommendations or questions you may have. And if we don't have the answers or the topics, we will certainly connect you with someone who does, or we will create it ourselves. That's our goal in life, is to make this journey as successful as possible for both you and your students. We wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for joining us.